Hello, good evening. My name is Robin Mazumdar and I'm talking from the studio of Stackroute. We'll just give a 1 minute for few people to join in. I see that a lot of people are joining in this session. I tried to enable my video, but there's a little bit of challenge on my video, so please excuse me for the session. The video will be turned off right throughout the session. Yep. I would definitely love to see your comments and please confirm me on the chat window if you are able to hear me as well as you are able to see the presentation screen. Yeah, you can utilize the chat window on Zoom or else this is a live session going on social media. You can utilize the chat window out there to respond whether you're able to hear me as well as see the presentation screen. Perfect. Thank you. Let's get started. I see few people have joined the session. Let's honor the time. We'll quickly get started with a quick introduction to myself. I hope the screen is visible. Well, I have got around 14 plus years of experience in the education industry. Currently, I am the product manager with Stackroute. And in the past, I have had experiences of being a senior business consultant with Oracle for close to 1.5 years. I have been handling business with IT and data science with Manipal ProLearn for close to 3 years. And also, my past was the second stint with Oracle, but in the past for 6.5 years, I have been into product management. So overall, in last 14 plus years, I have got a mixed experience of product management, running business, as well as technical training. Well, I started my career with being a faculty in a college in Bangalore. Now, of course, you can find me anytime on LinkedIn. My profile is listed onto this slide. Moving on, let's see what's the agenda for today's discussion. While people are joining, let us discuss the agenda. For today, we will be looking into certain market facts. Well, I always go by market facts primarily because I would always love to be data literate. Now, this session would be an opportunity to share those market insights to you also. Along with that, now during the pandemic stage, there are a lot of challenges every individual is facing. Not just individual, the challenges are upon the industry also. So we will see what post-COVID, post the pandemic, how will the industry react to to opportunities and how you can avail those benefits. Now, having said that, we will be also looking into why we are betting high on product engineering as a skill set and how Stackroute will be able to solve the problem which you are currently facing in the market. And of course, we will have a dedicated question and answer sessions also. So please reserve your questions towards the end. Even if you have questions, you can write onto the Q&A panel. I'll take the opportunity to read out your name as well as your question and answer to the best of knowledge. Quick check on the market facts. There are a lot of insights, lot of platforms which releases market insights, market facts. Now, a couple of them I have been following. One of them is LinkedIn. Then we have various skills report released by various platforms like AICT, Aspiring Minds. All of them talks about the employability quotient of the engineers in India, right? Uh, the top engineers in India, from tier 1 colleges, leave them aside right now. But otherwise, most of the engineers from the tier 2 colleges face a huge employability crunch. As per the research, it says that more than 50% of the engineering graduates across the colleges in India face unemployability, which means that they are not employable readily. Now, in order to understand those facts, we also need to go into certain facts and figures that why they are not employable readily. Uh, there has been another study done by Aspiring Minds where it was clearly evident that the technical recruiters which come to the campus for the interviews as well as for the campus recruitments, more than 43% of the technical recruiters say that they do not find the right skill set as well as the right hands-on skill set and domain knowledge in the candidates that they were looking for to hire, which means that the opportunity in the industry is available, but the candidates are not ready for that. Now, of course, with that starts our COVID story. Now, across the globe, every country, even India, is facing the heat of the pandemic. In fact, BBC clearly says that in April, there were more than 120 Indians who were jobless in India. And of course, that is also shooting up the unemployment percentage in India. Now, with all of this, let me quickly understand what kind of audience do we have today on our session. Let me do a quick poll. Let me do a quick poll to evaluate how many of you are currently graduates. Let's respond to the first poll. I think, yep, we have all of this information as a poll listed onto your screen. Please respond to the poll. When did you graduate? Are you currently facing challenge to find the right job during the pandemic? Please help with the response. I'll keep it open for a minute of time. Yes, Jason, I see on the live channel you have listed out that there's no poll on Twitter live session. Yep, that's the limitation of the tool. Right now, we cannot share the poll on the live session. Well, I'm going to end this poll right now. Almost 60% of the people have voted. Yes, 70% of the people have voted already. Let me end the poll right now. Well, I see most of the audience, almost 71% of the audience today are very recent graduate, 2020 graduate. Well, honoring that, I also see that 100% of the people who have voted for the second question are facing challenges to find the right job in the pandemic. Okay, let me respect your response and state that there is a way out. Okay, now let's find out certain information which will help you identify what should be the best route for you going forward. Now, there are multiple portals to look into, right? One of the key portal is linkedin.com, where just last month they posted the most in-demand jobs in the industry. Now, of course, that catered to the pandemic situation also. All of those were taken into respect. The topmost in-demand job which was listed and which actually is our concern right now is software engineering. So software engineering will be the most demand job going forward. That is what LinkedIn is talking about. Now, of course, there are a lot of other skill sets which were part of the result, but nothing which should concern us right away. But the first one is the software engineering. Now, going forward, let us also look into that how will the industry behave after COVID. So let's fast forward ourselves and see what will be the behavior of the industry. Now, of course, this COVID challenge has posed a difficult situation for various financial crisis, financial planning for the corporates. Going forward, the corporates as well as the clients will look for smaller team members who are agile within themselves, who are multi-skilled. Now, this people, whenever you are talking about multi-skill, they also need to be adaptable and flexible to various scenarios. Now, if they are not adaptable to and flexible to various scenarios, they will not be absorbed, they will not be retained in the industry, which creates a huge necessity of this kind of people to be highly tech savvy, because technology is driving right now the present as well as it will be driving the future. So trust me, my dear friends, you really need to be tech savvy. That doesn't mean that you have to be a tech geek. You don't have to be that, but you have to be aware about technologies across the market, right? Be if you are into the BFSI industry, be it you are in the manufacturing industry or in the IT industry or IT services industry, you need to be tech savvy. And of course, you need to be innovative, just like an entrepreneur, because opportunity will be there as an abstract option to you. And you have to identify, you have to understand the abstract requirement of that situation to create innovation out of it, to create opportunity out of it. So you really need to be creative and innovative. And of course, if you do not understand the market data, the market information, you become completely illiterate. Today, if LinkedIn is telling us something, if BBC is telling us something, if employability skill set reports are telling us something, and we do not make any meaning out of it, we become data illiterate, and we don't have any capability to survive in the market in future. So trust me, you have to be data literate, which means anything which is happening here and there, or any data which the customer is sharing or your business is deriving, you need to make meaningful information out from there. And nevertheless, you need to be along with the digital technologies which are going in the market, like the artificial intelligence, the machine learning, the data science, the IoT of the market. All of these are the digital technologies which will keep you relevant in the industry. Now, coding skills also will be equally important, and to drive that, you know, just not, let's not go with just Forbes research. I'll just cite another example from Indeed.com, which says that since 2016, full stack development has grown more than 400%, more than 400%. And if you see, full stack development is going to be the future of coding platforms, of the coding skill sets. So I will not talk in detail about full stack, but let me point out a very simple thing. Now, what do you see in this picture? If you can just respond onto the chat window, it'll help me to understand that you are all with me right now. What do you see in this picture? Yes, Ankurita, thank you for responding. Yeah, these are all Avengers. Now, let me tell you another one. What do you see in this picture? Yes, Ankurita, you are right. This is Superman. Now, Superman and Avengers, what's the difference here? Yes, Avish, Superman logo, of course, I get your point. But what is the difference between the superheroes of Avengers and Superman? I'll just pause here for a minute to see your response. Just try it out. What is the difference? Of course, Asif, two different comic. But what about the character? What do you see a difference between Superman and the Avengers superstars? Well, let me tell you, in the interest of the time. Oh, well, yeah, I see some response. Absolutely. Ankurita, you are absolutely right. So Superman is equivalent to all of the Avengers. Now let's pick up some of them. Some of the Avengers superstar, superhero may be a good fighter. may be able to fly high, may be super strong, may have some power, and they are unique within themselves. But Superman has got all of this power. And that is what is equivalent to your full stack developers. Full stack developers are Superman. The industry is looking for people who can do multitasking, who are multiple skilled. That is what the post-COVID industry will be looking for. Now, having said all of this, let's quickly move on to a niche area of product engineering. Now, why is Stackroute betting high on product engineering? The very first thing is that a product engineer is a full stack developer with deep expertise of various digital skill sets. You have to identify that this person is deep skilled expertise. Now, a product engineer also identifies opportunities in various kind of problems which the customer raises. I'll give you a simple example. During this pandemic, what if a customer says that my restaurant business has gone down because of this pandemic? If such kind of problem statement is given to a product engineer who knows what is the problem, he will try to look for solution. And the way I think is that he may tell a solution to the restaurant owner stating that, let me tell you that I can help you with some sensors which will help you collect the body temperature of all your employees as well as the delivery personnel. Let me tell you, I have got a way to track the GPS of all of your employees to find out that where all are they going, where all are they moving post office hours. We can also even track using Bluetooth that if they are being exposed to a high risk candidate of COVID. And let us use business intelligence to make a dashboard which will be available to your client, to your customers, to see how safe this restaurant employees are, how is the condition, medical condition of each and every employee, and that the food that is being cooked is cooked in a healthy environment. That way the customer will be much more confident to order food onto your restaurant. That is what a problem solver will think like. He will look into an business abstract requirement, abstract problem into an opportunity and give a solution to the customer. And post COVID, as we just saw, that the industry will be moving into smaller team members, which means that the team members should be much agile, okay, and should be able to take up multiple roles together. They should be able to deliver end-to-end solutions in no time. And of course, for the organizations, hiring a product engineer is like a just-in-time resourcing with reduced bill, with reduced cost and highly billable and immediate billable resources. Right? Now, what we are talking about is that the product engineer will be a game changer in the future industry. That is where Stackroute is betting high. Moving on, as I just said about Stackroute, what is Stackroute? Now, let me tell you, Stackroute is a venture from NIIT. We call ourselves as a product engineering startup. What we are trying to do, we are not a training organization. NIIT has been into the training for 4 decades now. Why there was a need to create another organization which is again a training organization? We are not. We are a platform which provides disruptive IT learning solutions. Let me emphasize again, we provide disruptive IT learning solutions, because the way we do it is we are producing the world-class full stack developers who really have passionate, who are really passionate about various technologies, as well as they have deep skills on beyond full stack technologies. That is why the platform is disruptive. And the way we are providing the learning solution is we do not train. We do not have any trainers on our platform. All of the mentors are industry practitioners who will actually help each and every candidate, each and every learner on how to learn. That is how we are creating a disruption in the way the entire IT learning has been running till date. And that is where Stackroute has built up a brand in last 4.5 years. In last 4.5 years, of course, we have won many organizations' heart, but that doesn't matter to us. What matters is that we have changed lives for more than 5,500 people in last 4.5 years who are certified from Stackroute. More than 1,800 people have undergone our immersive pedagogy. This immersive pedagogy is something which we always talk about. This is a very unique pedagogy. And I was just talking to a few of the experts in the industry. They say that this has been the unique opportunity in India. Now, what Stackroute has been confidently doing in last few years is, what we say to any organization is that any Stackroute certified candidate, when you hire from Stackroute, they are day one project ready. Now that saves a lot of money as well as time for the organization, because traditionally, if you see, the companies go and hire freshers from the colleges or various other job fairs. They source, there's a cost in sourcing. They train the candidate for a few months, 3 to 4 months of time. There's a cost involved in training, classroom training, as well as there is a period of 2 to 3 months of shadowing with some senior members in a live project. After all of this involvement of 6 to 7 months, this candidate is project ready. And of course, it's not just the duration, they also have a budget which they spend for all of this mechanism. For the candidate, there's also a risk that if there are no projects, active projects, they can be on bench. But these companies get a benefit if they hire any Stackroute certified candidate. This candidate who is Stackroute certified is day one project ready and day one client facing ready. Don't you see that the corporates are benefiting from this? The corporates definitely do. And the benefit is also transferred to the candidate. Now, how do the benefit gets transferred to the candidate? Let us find out. The very first thing is that Stackroute is helping the enterprise as well as the individual by stating as well as by proving an outcome driven pedagogy by giving full stack product engineers who are day one project ready as well as client facing ready. So that brings a lot of savings for the organization, and that savings is being transferred to the candidate who joins the organization. That is why in our program we say that any full stack developer who are assigned or who are deployed to any company from Stackroute gets a minimum starting salary as a fresher, a minimum of 5 lakhs per annum. Mind it that in India, full stack developers, the average salary is 3.8 lakhs per annum. So as a fresher, you really have a great start, and that to a minimum start of 5 lakhs. The salary may be higher depending on the credibility, depending on the candidature. Now, along with all of the skill sets, you also get to learn various aspects of product development. You just don't design a simple application, you develop an entire product. So the entire product development life cycle is being known to you. And during this COVID period, of course, everything is remote. So you learn how to work in a remote environment, an unsupervised environment, as well as a distributed environment. That is how Stackroute helps you practice for the future workforce. And of course, project experience is part of the game. Quickly moving forward, what do we want to introduce to the market? We want to introduce a 19 weeks program, which we call as postgraduate program in full stack product engineering. Well, during this 19 weeks, there are a lot of things you go through. Of course, none of them follow a standard table of content method or a training pedagogy. We have a immersive learning pedagogy. Now, this immersive learning pedagogy cannot be tolerated by everyone. Trust me, it cannot be tolerated by everyone. That is why we evaluate our candidate very closely. Now, part of the evaluation process before even you can enroll into this program is that you have to have an MCAT or a CoCube score. You have to undergo an employability test on MCAT or CoCube, and you have to have a certain threshold of 40% for MCAT and 50% for CoCube. Only after that, you will be evaluated in a programming platform of Stackroute on your IT as well as your programming skills. For your IT, we will have few question answers as an MCQ where we evaluate your fundamentals. For your programming or coding knowledge, we have a programming platform on Visual Studio, primarily evaluating your Java development skills. Only if you cross this stage, you get invited for a video-based panel interview. An interview is conducted to identify your right communication skills, your right attitude, as well as your aptitude to join this program. If you are selected one of the few 24 people in India, because this program is limited to only 24 people at maximum every month, not beyond that. If you are one of them, then you get a chance to register for this program. Take up part 1, which is a 2 weeks program, primarily polishing your foundation skills of programming, foundation skills of various coding practices, as well as certain industry standards of how you can work in various best practices, as well as how you can work on a Git environment. After the part 1, the part 2 starts, where you are given end-to-end training of full stack development. A lot of technologies are involved here, a lot of concepts are involved here. But the way Stackroute plays differently is we know what the industry is looking for. The industry is not looking for just a developer. The industry is looking for a person who has got strong software engineering skill set. So your part 2 also takes care of delivering you the best of practices in the software engineering industry. I'll give you simple examples like the design patterns which are required in software engineering practices, the best practices of software engineering, DevOps, agile methodology. Then you have continuous integration, continuous deployment, and many more. Such are the concepts which you learn in this 9 weeks of program, or 9 weeks of this part of the program, which gives you a very strong fundamental of full stack development, very strong fundamental of software engineering. Now, all of this you have to apply in designing and developing a product in the last 2 months of period. So coming to part 3, whatever you have learned, you have to implement in a very abstract problem-based product design. You have to build it yourself, you have to test it yourself, you have to package, deploy it onto the cloud or GitLab. Now, all of this put together throughout the program, you will be mentored. There will be mentor who will be reviewing your task right from the first week itself and give you feedback from time to time. Part of your role will also be to implement those feedback. And make sure that your product is ready as per the market expectation. That way you get prepared to absorb customers' feedback from time to time. Now, just to give you a quick view of various core technologies you learn, some of them are listed. Overall, you learn about core Java. Overall, you learn about how your application will support multiple devices, rich front end, RESTful APIs, how microservices are changing the world, polyglot persistence, API management, and many more. Along with that, few of the software engineering concepts are also being taught in this program, which are listed here. Not only this, in a remote environment, how do you work? in a distributed and unsupervised environment. We have all of those part of this program. And from time to time, there are multiple presentations which you do. You work with a team in an agile way. So all of this helps you become a day one project and client ready professional. After this 5 months of hard work, it's a full-time program. It needs hard work. Only then you can earn the certificate of Stackroute. You have to earn it. You just cannot pay money and get this certificate. It is not going to work in that way, right? There are multiple tools and technologies which you learn in this program. Now, how is Stackroute accelerating your experience? First of all, we are a differentiator in the market. It is clearly visible on the programs which we, or the kind of contents which we have in our program. This has been validated by various industry experts, and this is clearly a differentiator. The way we play differently is that everyone helps you learn, everyone teaches you, everyone trains you, also helps you do some practices and apply the practice into a certain project. But we do beyond that. Your work is reviewed by the mentors from time to time. Your feedback is being given. You understand the feedback and you have to implement the feedback. If you do not know how to implement, you learn how to implement it. You learn new technologies in order to implement that feedback. And that way you practice, apply, review, refactor. So this becomes like a never ending cycle, which helps you get a very, very real environment experience. And that completes your immersive experience, because the challenges which you will be getting in this learning cycle will be tough. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be tough. And that is how your learning, your experience gets accelerated, right? So this is how Stackroute guarantees an outcome. And of course, since this is a job linked program, the program in full stack product engineering is a job linked program. It builds your confidence that yes, there's a definite outcome if I work hard. Let me give an example. There are so many people in last 4 years of engineering, they work so hard, but there's no guarantee that they will get a job after the engineering. That is why more than 50% of the engineers are unemployable in India. But here for next 5 months, it is a guaranteed outcome program. If you are working hard, you will definitely get a role, get a job with a minimum 5 lakh rupee salary. Moving ahead, of course, during the COVID situation, everything is virtual. But do not worry, we have an excellent virtual learning experience platform. We have learning platforms which are available over the internet. Everything you do is available over the internet. Your assignments, the sessions for future reference will be recorded and hosted onto the learning platform. The mentors throughout the programs, who guides, who reviews your work, are remotely available any point of time. As well as you also get access to various labs which are virtually available on the cloud for you to complete complex programs. Now, whenever you're talking about software engineering practices, you need access to certain tools and platforms which are also being given to you in order to manage your codes, in order to manage your integration and deployment from time to time. And all of our platform evaluates your work automatically, be it your code, be it your practices, anything. We have auto evaluation platform across technologies, which actually helps you practice and correct your mistakes. That way, in next 5 months, you become much refined and polished to sustain in the market in any kind of scenario. And of course, do not think that you will be in silos. You can of course interact with your batchmates. We have various platforms. One of it is Slack, through which you can interact with your team members. And there are a lot of team assignments in this program also, right? Now, we have been working in last 4.5 years with a lot of corporates Of course, we cannot bring the words, the good words of each and every customers of ours, but we thought that certain feedbacks are worth mentioning. Do have a look what few of the customers have to say about Stackroute. Now, coming to this point, almost nearing the end, what should be your next step? The very first thing is you have to identify whether you are eligible for this program. Now, let me tell you, the first eligibility is that you have to be an engineering graduate with minimum 60% scores throughout your academics. MCA graduates are also allowed in this program. So engineering and MCA graduates are eligible for this program. Now in engineering, of course, there are so many specializations. Apart from civil, almost every other specializations are eligible for this program. If your qualification allows you to enroll in this program, you have to undergo an employability test, either on CoCube or as MCAT platform. You have to take up the aptitude, quantitative English, as well as written English test. And if you already have the test result, if you have taken in last 6 months of time, if you have already undergone similar test, we respect your result and we take you forward to the next stage, which is the programming test. This programming test will be on Stackroute's platform, primarily mix of MCQ as well as coding questions, followed by virtual video-based interview with the industry panel, with the interview panel members who are from the industry. They primarily will evaluate your basic technical skills, your experience with the programming test, your communication skills, your right attitude to join this program. Because this is an immersive program, there are a lot of self-study which is part of the pedagogy. Whether you can take it up or not is also being evaluated. Then there is a program fee, of course. Let me tell you the story. During COVID, or in fact before COVID, when we were designing this program, we kept in mind what the program fee will be. We kept it at 2,25,000 for this 5 months program. Now, suddenly the COVID started. Now, what did we do? We understood that during COVID, a lot of people will have challenges to pay the program fee. So what we decided is that we take out the entire risk from the candidate and we take the risk completely. Let the candidate pay once they get the job. Now, of course, they are very serious candidates, but of course, there are a lot of people who will play with this entire design. They will join this program free of cost, and mid of the session, they will say, my head is aching, my stomach is aching, I need to get married, whatever. And they will get out of it because he has got no risk. He has got no skin into the game. So what we decided is, let us not follow what a lot of people follow. Let's not ask them to sign a bond. Let's not ask them to submit original certificates. Rather, what we do is, let us ask them to pay a partial money from the program fee. Let us collect 15,000 as a registration fee from the candidate at the beginning. So during registration, if you are selected for this program, I'm not saying that this will be collected from every 100 people who are coming for this program. This is only for the people who pass all of the previous hurdles and get into this stage. So we collect a 15,000 rupee as registration fee. We allow the candidate to evaluate our platform, our pedagogy, the immersive pedagogy for 30 days. In this 30 days, if the candidate is saying that this pedagogy is too tough for me to tolerate, I don't think I'm fit for this pedagogy, I am not able to make any sense out of it, he can leave the program in 30 days. That way he doesn't have to lose that 2 lakh rupee. I don't say he loses 15,000 also, primarily because within that 15,000, he gets a 30 days of experience on Stackroute's platform. If he wants to continue, he has to pay a program continuity fee of 15,000 rupee and nothing till he gets his first salary after the placement drive. So during registration, 15,000, within 30 days as a program continuity, another 15,000. So in total, he is paying 30,000 for this 5 months or 19 weeks program. And the balance of 1,95,000 at minimum, he pays in 24 equal monthly installments, 0% interest after he starts getting his first salary. So the majority of the risk is taken by Stackroute, while a bit of skin into the game is being asked from the candidate during the registration as well as the program continuation duration of 30 days. Rest of it, he pays in equal monthly installment for 2 years, absolutely zero interest. Now, what if the candidate gets a higher salary package? What we tried to do is that we tried to make an income linked program fee plan. So what we did that we guarantee people will get a 5 lakh rupee salary from the job through this program. So a 22.5% of the CTC multiplied by 2 is arriving at 2,25,000, which is the program fee. Now, what if he gets a higher package? Suppose a 7.5 lakh rupee. 7.5 lakh multiplied by 22.5% multiplied by 2, because he's paying in 2 years, will be somewhere around 3 lakhs 30,000 or so. So he doesn't have to pay that much. There is a maximum cap which has been kept into this program, and that cap is 3 lakh rupee. So at any point of time with a higher salary package, the candidate do not pay anything beyond 3 lakhs. So the program fee is anywhere from 2,25,000 to 3 lakh rupee. And of course, if someone says that I can pay anything upfront, he can pay a 2 lakh rupee. Actually, in fact, it is minus 1 rupee of 2 lakh, 1,99,999. So, and he can avail the discount and avail all the benefits, right? But if someone wants to get into an income linked payment, that is the plan. 22.5% of the CTC which you receive in your placement multiplied by 2 is your program fee. The EMI is on the amount minus 30,000 because you have already paid, divided by 24 months. So that way, this entire calculation is detailed in the program page. If you are interested to know more about this program, I would recommend you visit the program page, which has all of this information, right? What if there may be questions? What if I don't get placed? If you do not get placed in 6 months, I'm not asking you to wait for 4 years, 2 years, or 1 year of time. If you do not get placed in 6 months of period, there will be a legal agreement signed at the registration stage itself, which clearly will state you do not have to pay anything if you don't get the placement in this program. Apart from your registration fee and program continuity fee, the balance of the entire risk which Stackroute has been taking is completely waived off, right? So that brings a very, very valuable proposition for each and every fresher who is looking out for a respectable job role with a very good CTC package in the market. This is how Stackroute is trying to solve the problem in the market for all the freshers engineering graduates in India. Now, let me quickly open up for question answers. You have got the question answer panel. You can write me there. You also have the chat window if you want to write something out there. Let me see, what questions do I have? Okay, Amalindu, what I understand from you is that you have given the AMCAT exam you have also given the programming test. Let me okay, so I got your point. So you are saying that you are eligible for this program. So what next, Amalindu? I think if you are eligible in this program, you are one of the few candidates who have the capability to take up this program. If you still do not see an opportunity, I think you are losing time. If you have got a welcome email from the admission head of our team to register into this program, then you are one of the candidate who has been chosen, who can take up this program. So I would suggest, don't miss out this opportunity. Any other questions? Let me check. Okay, I get a question. Does undergraduate of second year gets placed? Well, Sri Krishna Sagar, sorry if I'm not naming your, I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. This program is specifically for graduates. If you are in your final semester waiting to give your exam, this opportunity as an exception is also being extended to you. But if you are in any other year of, second year or third year of your engineering, you are not eligible immediately for this program. Thank you for your interest. Do keep a watch. We wish you that you scored beyond 60% at least minimum for your engineering, and you are welcome to join this program or get yourself assessed for this program in future. But thank you for your interest for now. Uday, I get your question. How is the career in cybersecurity? Well, I'm not a cybersecurity expert, but yes, of course, there's a lot of opportunity available in cybersecurity. Now, do not think that a full stack developer is only into Java. A full stack developer, as I said, needs to be multi-skilled. So he cannot get away from cybersecurity also, or data science, or artificial intelligence, or IoT. He needs to be aware about all the relevant digital technologies which are there in the market, because you need to be a tech enthusiast. Nothing harm in learning it. Okay, but if you want to opt only for cybersecurity, you are only into cybersecurity. Full stack allows you to be back end, to be front end, to be master in the business logic, as well as various other digital technologies. That is what full stack is, and that is why in future full stack developers will be in high demand, specifically the product engineers. Let me see if I have any other questions. Yes, I have one. Let me check if I understand this question well. No. So let me tell you, if you are not getting placed during this program, you do not have to pay the balance program fee. The majority, initially you pay 15,000 as registration, 15,000 as program continuity, and nothing till you get your first salary. Within 6 months of your program completion, if you do not get a job, you do not have to pay anything, but you still get the knowledge, you still get the certificate from Stackroute. So it's a risk-free proposition for you. Let me check what else. Do I have any questions on the social media? Aman, do you think we have any questions on the social media? Just in case I have to respond to something while I'm picking out, because there has been multiple chats. I have to scroll which are the questions. Okay. So So what can you expect in the employability test? Let me tell you, we go by the standard of MCAT test as well as the CoCube test, which has aptitude, which has quantitative, logical, English comprehension, as well as written English test. These are the 4 tests on the platform on which we evaluate. For aspiring minds MCAT, we have a threshold of 40%, while for CoCube platform, we have a threshold of 50%. Let me also answer you that on our programming platform, it's a mix of MCQ as well as coding questions. There will be 2 coding questions and you have to answer those questions. You have to write the program in an IDE or like an Eclipse kind of an environment. It's a Visual Studio environment where you will have to answer your programming questions. Perfect. I think I'm good. I will give 1 more minute for anyone to ask any question. I see there's one. Okay. Hi, Mr. Anonymous. I do not know your name here. Do you arrange the platform for placements, or we have to get selected from normal college placements by showing your certificate? Do not worry. The placement drives are part of the program. Okay. You will not have to go from the platform and search for job. So it is the placement drives are part of this program. The only challenge, I do not have any question mark on the program pedagogy. I do not have any question mark on the design of the program because this has been proven, this has been tested. The only question mark which I have is, do you qualify to join this program? The only question mark which I have is, do you have what it takes to complete this program successfully? If the answer is yes, rest is taken care of. Do not worry. When you board a bus, you don't ask the driver, do you have a license? Do you know how to drive? Will you be able to safely drive through and take me to my destination? Because the driver has been driving for a long time. He has been driving the bus. Stackroute has been changing lives for 4.5 years. You will just have to get onboarded if you qualify. Get onboarded, trust the driver, which is the Stackroute. We will take you through towards the destination. That's what I would like to say. I see is there any question? Let me check. Okay. I think that's all in terms of the questions which came. If no one has any other question, then we are good for today. I'll just give few seconds to see if there's any last minute questions left from anyone. If not, just make a note of the email ID. Just in case you have any further question, you can write us at contact@stackroute.in. We will be glad to assist you and respond to your questions. Well, wonderful talking to all the people who joined this session today, as well as this has been my first live session. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Jason, thank you very much for sharing your feedback on the live platforms. Thank you, Aman, for arranging this session. If there's nothing else, then I think we are good to end up the session. Thank you everyone for participating. Enjoyed thoroughly throughout the session.